Are you on camera?
No, due to the angle that I have to hold my phone to plug it in, it's not a good angle to hold and charge at the same time. But I'm here.
Okay, all right. So this is my first time, besides being in my house, that I've done my show. So bear with us because my computer died on me and I'm trying to bring it back to life. But I do have my iPad, but that's not charging and it's plugged in. So it's just not a great day for me to be um, zooming, but it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good. We're here, and we're at beautiful Uptown Grove Hall,
Yes, ma'am.
and at Torchlight Recovery, which is actually where you work at, right, Sister Khan?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us a little. Well, you have so many talents and gifts. So tell the audience exactly your name. What do you do? Some of your gifts, and go ahead. We
All
listen.
right. So, peace, family. My name is Sister Kiana X. I go by Conscious Wisdom. Um, I mean, sister, student, and servant. I think that sums up a lot of what I do. Sister to the community, sister in the mosque, Mosque 11 in Boston. Student, always learning, always trying to educate myself or, learn about myself, learn about the world that I live in. And servant, find out ways that I could serve my community, serve my family, serve my peers, serve God ultimately. And I serve God through music. I work at Torchlight Recovery Cafe in Grove Hall, where we service those who are in recovery and not just from drugs and alcohol, but also lifestyle choices. We have people who are re entering society, people who are recovering from homelessness, domestic violence. The list goes on. You name it, we're recovering from it. So I'm here and I'm just here to serve the people. And
Well,
also with the music, I have an album out. As you know, I was on your show last year, Power Refinement. That's still out on all platforms.
okay, okay. So I think I got it together a little bit. Let's see if I can. Uh, okay. I'm coming in on my other computer. Let me just see. So you say you have a album out, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm gonna leave this meeting here because we're gonna be getting the echo. All right. Tell us a little bit about it.
So the name of the album is Power Refinement. Power Refinement is from the Supreme Mathematics and is basically is basically having the power but knowing what to do with it, refining it. Knowing that medicine is good at the right time, the right person, the right dosage. Oh, the echo.
Sorry, that's me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to close this one thing. I'm sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm waiting because of the echo.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna move for 1 minute so I can shut this iPad off. Go ahead. Okay, we're back.
All right, there's no echo. Okay. So basically, just learning how to fine tune my craft. I started working on the EP, Power Refinement. So it's 5 tracks. One of the singles has a music video to it. The name of that single is Finally Free, where I'm uplifting the name of those we have, I don't want to say lost, but those who have transitioned due to violence in the community. So, 5 singles, one music video so far. I have a couple of other things that I've been working on with other collaboratives in the city. Disciples 11 from Mosque 11, also Mass Spirits, also the MBM family with mathematics. So there's a few different things that are out right now. I know we have QMS. The music video came out a few months ago for QMS with Stonecatcher and also Mathematics. We have Blessed with Mass Spirits. I'm just trying to make sure I don't forget anybody, but there's a few different things that are going on, and I'm really excited about all of it.
So that sounds good. That sounds good. It seems that you also have another gift. You want to tell us about that?
I can see into the future. That's
I'm
so
I'm not talking about
Raven.
that one. I I didn't know anything about that one.
Yeah, I can see into the future. I write it 25,000 years in advance and then I walk into it.
I was
um,
actually talking about your gift of making jewelry.
yes, so I do make and design jewelry and also customize jewelry. I've been doing this since I was young, crafting and things of that nature. I remember back in like the 90s, there were a lot of like things that would come out to kind of just keep your children quiet. And crafting jewelry was one of them. So my
Hmm.
mom used to get me these bead sets. I remember they used to have Toys R Us at in South Bay. And every time we would come to Boston, we would go to Toys R Us, and then eventually we moved to Boston because we didn't originally live in Boston.
So
So we
you
used
were
to.
born in Boston.
No, I'm born in New York, and as a child, I spent a lot of time back and forth between New York and Springfield until 97, 98. We moved to Boston for good. And then in 2004, I moved to Miami. And then I moved back eventually to Boston. So I've been like all over the place, but the most of my life has been spent in Boston. So I do consider myself a Bostonian. I am a Bronx native, but I do consider myself a Boston girl. But yeah, so we would go to South Bay and they would have like these little sets and things like that. And my mom would get me the sets to craft and create. And I remember when I was in New York too, there was a plaza in Co-op City. And back then Co-op City was like really small. Now there's a big mall and there's a lot of shopping stores and cool stuff there. But when I was younger, there wasn't too much at Co-op City. We had like a movie theater and we had just like little stores. I don't even think the movie theater was built at this point in time, but I remember I used to see the bead sets there too. And I remember my father bringing me to the stores and getting me little bead sets and stuff to craft and make bracelets and, jewelry. So I was really into stuff like that. And I liked single person projects because I was I was like alone for most of my time when we first moved to Boston because I was my mother's only child for about 12 years. So most of my activities were like stuff that you can do by yourself, little crossword puzzles, a lot of books, and just crafting. So now I'm still into crafting and it has evolved and it's really interesting and it's fun to see things come into fruition because there's different ideas that I've had and I'll just sketch them out. And then even in the process of creating it, it's like trial and error, seeing what works, what doesn't work. Sometimes sometimes things don't come out how I thought it would come out, and I have to go back to the drawing board. But it's fun. Like the whole process of it is fun. So right now I have my pieces in a few different locations. One of them is Birch Street Home and Garden in Roslindale. I also have some pieces at Diversity Consignment in Jamaica Plain. And I just recently had pieces at Frugal Bookstore in Roxbury, but right now we're under reconstruction with the items there. So
Mhm.
and moving forward, I'll be having my items at the bookstore at Muhammad Mosque 11.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm excited about these recent projects.
Yes, yes, that's wonderful. That's great. I mean, you have a gift and talent. You have many gifts and many talents. So you're truly a
All
blessing.
praises due to Allah.
Yes, all praises are due to Allah. And I'm just happy to know you, to be your friend, to be able your sister in the mosque and be able to work together for the good of God, and to try to bring our sisters and brothers into the nation. Um, so that they can see and hear the truth of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Because I tell you, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And there's a scripture in the Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And when you listen to the teachings, you realize that we've been bamboozled, that we've been lied to, and it's just a blessing to be able to see the light, you know. And I'm just happy to be a member. I'm just
Yes.
happy to be in the nation because I've been following Minister Farrakhan since 1983, since I first heard him in Boston. And sometimes it takes some of us longer than others, but I'm thankful and grateful.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
I'm thankful and grateful to be alive, clothed in my right mind, because there was a time when I wasn't. I was going through a lot of trauma, dealing with the death of my children, and having a lot of mental health issues. Um, but the recovery center has helped me, in my recovery, because mental illness is a disease. And, I feel like a lot of our people suffer from mental illness. We never talked about it before. It was a taboo. They would say, oh, you're crazy, but mental
Mm-hmm.
illness is real, and a lot of us suffer from it. Some of us deal with it in different ways, and some of us, don't deal with it at all. But I'm thankful and grateful to God Allah for being in my right mind, because when you're not in your right mind, a lot of things can happen. You do a lot of things that you normally wouldn't do when you're in your right mind. And
That's true.
so I am definitely happy to be here on this day. And so you have a daughter,
I do.
Sister Haley.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, she actually is one of my students in my program, Marcus Anthony Hall Educational Institute.
Yes, ma'am.
And sweet girl, looks just like her mama.
Mm-hmm.
And at that age, that age, 15 she is, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, very smart young lady. And I know she's a blessing to you. And so what would you say to to our young our young um I don't want to call them kids, our youth.
True.
What,
Yes.
what what would you say to our youth to help them, like, be on the right track, or to how would you encourage them to go right instead of going left?
Um, I would first tell them to breathe. Make
Hmm.
sure they're being mindful of their breathing, to stay in
Hmm.
the present. I
Hmm.
know that for a lot of us, and not just the youth, but a lot of us were either having regrets about the past or anxiety about the future. Or sometimes we're equating the past to what may be projected into the future, but to just be present in the moment and to breathe.
Hmm.
Um, that yesterday's mistakes are just mistakes. It's all a learning lesson. It's all a trial. Um, to think about how they feel, how certain people make them feel, how certain conversations make them feel, how certain activities make them feel, and to allow their inner God to be their compass. Um, to spend a lot of time cultivating that instead of seeking outside validation. I
Hmm.
know like your teenage years is like that crucial period where you're not quite a baby, but you're not quite an adult yet. So it's
The
like when you're
in-between
small,
years.
yeah, like when you're small and you're a child, you're kind of just all over the place and you just are who you are, wild, rambunctious, sometimes a little mischievous, but just learning and feeling things out and learning your way. By the time you're a teenager, you know a little bit more, but sometimes what you know makes you think that you know it all, and it's not. It's not. It's not it. It's not the end all be
Right.
all. Um,
Yeah.
so I would say listen more than you speak. Learn to
Mm-hmm.
listen. Just be still and listen. And even
Mm-hmm.
in that, see how certain people's words make you feel. You get that little that burning in your chest, or you get that little knot in your stomach that tells you whether something is right or wrong. Listen to it. Don't quiet that voice, because the more that you quiet it, it begins to go silent. I did
Okay.
a video with Brother Manny from Mosque 11 the other day, where he asked me too, like, what would you tell the, young ladies coming up?
Mm-hmm.
And one of those things is about the inner voice, is that when you make certain decisions as a young person, and you get that feeling, like I used skipping school at the time. Like, when you tried that for the first time, you knew it was wrong, but you still did it anyway. And then you always had that feeling that came up that says, I'm doing something wrong. But the more you did something that was wrong, you became comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, if you flip that and used the um apprehension or anxiety or the feelings that come up when you're trying something new, but it's beneficial for you, if you flipped it and pushed yourself through that, then you can grow. It's like
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes we take advice from people that's not beneficial, and then when negative things result of it, we get upset with the other people. But we can
Mm-hmm.
take that and do something beneficial, like push through our emotions to, I don't know, sometimes you might have a book that you want to read and you're like, this book is really big, it's intimidating to read a book this big. But push through those feelings, do something new, do something positive, do something that challenges you, but on a more positive end of the spectrum, because there's so much satisfaction, and there's so much to gain from pushing yourself to do something that's good for you. um I'm trying to think, what else would I tell them? Just be nice to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. There's enough people that's outside of us that's beating up on us. You got your teachers beating up on you, and
Mm-hmm.
you got projects to do, you got homework, you got your peer pressure, you have all these different things that's going on outside of the world. You want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that your inner world is a place of peace, that at the end of the day, when you close your eyes and you go to sleep, you have a good night's rest. Or at the end of the day, when you go home, you feel comfortable in your skin. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
remember times that I didn't feel comfortable in my skin. I remember times that I would go home from school and all the issues and pressures of school were still going on when I went home. And then when I went home, we had our own issues and stuff that was going on at home. And it was like, there seemed like there was no way to escape all of this pressure. And I remember during that time, I started to, like, turn to drugs and alcohol as a release, and, promiscuity as a release from what was going on in the world. And that was because I allowed the outside world to affect my inner world. And then once it began to affect my inner world, I wanted to escape from myself. So ultimately, I know I just said a mouthful, but
A lot,
I
but
I really
those
want the youth to hear this and to know, like, you're wonderful, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Like, you have something in you that is so precious and so important that God thought that the world needed you and created you. There's so much that goes into creating each and every one of us. There's a long lines, generations and generations of people that had to come just for us to be here today.
mm,
So,
yeah.
and people who had to die just for us to have the conditions that we have today. So I don't want us to take it for granted, and I want us to be able to, like, push through whatever circumstances we're going through, meet and overcome every obstacle.
I hear you. That that makes so much sense. Because in this day and age, with everything that's going on in the world, I think that some of our youth don't feel loved. They don't feel like anyone cares about them. It's sad, but a lot of us went through that period of time. Um And sometimes when you was just saying about school, sometimes it's almost like a job. Like when you get your first job and you start working, and instead of leaving your job at home, you bring your job home.
Mm-hmm.
The tension of the work, and just not really maybe fully understanding what you're supposed to do, but having a hard time working at jobs are not easy. And it's almost like being in school, when
Yeah.
you think about it, because people, a lot of people work 9 to 5, but their work don't stop at 5. It continues something to happen in the day. And it's like the same thing with school. Things happen in school. I know there's a lot, there used to be a lot of bullying going on back
It
in the
still
day.
is. It's still a
Yeah.
lot of bullying.
And it's only now the bullying is so much different, because you're bullied on Facebook, and you're bullied on TikTok, and you're bullied on Instagram, and this it's so much, like everybody sees that you're bullied.
Right. Right. The
And
whole world. The whole
right.
world is watching.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this modern AI and the internet and social media, there's just so many things to grab your attention that it's scary almost, when you think about all the different things that you see. I mean, you see war live, right, and color. You see it, people being bombed, homes being bombed, children and women being killed. You see that, and that in itself is traumatizing. I understand why some people don't want to watch TV, because
Right.
it's really sad, because you, especially if you're a person that has compassion and really care about people, or and just to see these types of things going on, it's really sad. We're definitely in a different day, a different world, and we have to decide consciously to make some real decisions for ourselves, for our family, for our lives,
Right.
because we don't want to get stuck. We don't want to be left behind. We want to be able to educate our young folks, and show them love. I think a lot of them sometimes they miss being loved, you know. Um, and
I
I don't
think,
think it's
go ahead.
go go
No, no,
ahead.
no. I'm listening. I'm listening. My apologies.
No, I was gonna say I don't think it's that they're not loved. I just think that sometimes we don't know how to show love, you know. Um, Especially as working parents, a lot of us are single parents. Unfortunately, that's a a issue that a lot of us have, especially us Black people. A lot of our mothers, um, you know, had to raise us by themselves, or and it was difficult. And so a lot of times I feel like we basically did things that we got away with, or we thought we got away with, especially if you have a single parent that's trying to work and take care of her family and take care of her children. It's hard. It's always been hard for us as Black people. It has not been no easy ride, but all praises due to God and Allah. We do have a comforter. We do have someone that we can go to and cry
Absolutely.
out to. And so for that, I'm very thankful and grateful.
Absolutely. So I remember a time, my daughter might have been about 8 years old, 9 years old at the time. And I was just having a conversation. I was like, and because I'm a single mother. And she was like, you're not a single mother. You have this person and this person and this person. You're not by yourself. And she was just reminding me of my
Mm,
community.
mhm,
Like you're not
mm,
by yourself, mommy. And she was so little. But
mm,
I think if we start to lean more on the village, um, we can start to be able to change that narrative. Like, yes, we are single mothers. Yes, we're not married. We're doing it physically by ourselves, but spiritually, Allah God is our children's father. He's our father and he's our children's father. And I remember reading a quote somewhere that says, a woman who walks with God will never walk alone.
Mm,
So I like to think as long as I keep Allah God first, he'll always take care of me. He'll always provide.
okay.
There's always going to be a struggle, and there oftentimes is, but the more I pray, the more I realize that certain needs have already been provided, and
Mhm.
sometimes I'm able to assess my wants from my needs. And I don't ever want to want for anything, and I really don't need to want for anything. Like,
Right.
if we think about even being born, everything that we were going to need to survive this world was already provided for us before we were born.
Mhm.
So, in the moments I feel that I'm longing for something or I'm wanting for something, I kind of try to check the reasons behind it. Am I having an insecurity? Am I feeling the need to be validated? Am I feeling the need to be loved? Or why am I not feeling God's love at this moment? Whose love am I searching for? What love am I
Mhm.
searching for? What love am I not giving myself? And when you were mentioning about children not feeling loved, it's like now we're coming into the knowledge of different love languages. So in the Quran, it defines love as service of acts of service and duty.
Mhm.
So how I might show up and provide a service for you might be different from how you show up and provide a service for me.
Mhm.
Equality is not always the exact same thing. It's not I give you two apples and then you give me two apples, like we just passing back and forth apples. Now, if I
Right.
give you something of value to you and you give something of value to me, then that's equality. But if I'm giving you something that's valuable to you and you're giving me something that I don't value, then that's where the disconnect is. So a
Right.
lot of times we like to love people in the way that we wanted to be loved, or we like to love people in the way that um we believe love should show up, and they're loving us in that way as well, but we're coming from two different experiences, different backgrounds, different lifestyles sometimes. So for my mom, there were a lot of times where it's like, when I was growing up, I would have, yeah, well, guess what, I'm not growing up when you were growing up, and I'm also not you. And I say
Right.
that with love, but and then it's the same for me and my child, where I had to recognize that I was loving my daughter from a broken space. I was loving her from a broken inner child that was trying to do for her the things that weren't done for me, and expecting her to validate me by appreciation. So, and then
Mm.
when I wasn't being appreciated for the things that I was doing for her that I never received, I became resentful. Oh, you don't appreciate me. You're ungrateful. You're not. Da, da, da. No, I am
Mhm.
grateful for the things that I need, but you're giving me
Right.
stuff that I don't require. Like, she's the upgraded version of me. She's 2.0, for the things that I longed for. She came equipped with not needing it. You know what I mean? In areas that I might have been like, wow, I would have really loved being hugged growing up as a child, where she's like, I don't want hugs. I kind of just want my space.
Mm.
So it's just learning each other and being observant. And my definition of love is listen, observe, validate, and evolve. That's what
Mm.
love does. Do you listen to me? Do you actually listen to me when I tell you what hurts me? Do you actually listen when I tell you what I like and what I'm interested in? Observe me. Do you observe what I eat? I remember I used to go to a 12-step meeting that met in the park.
Mhm.
And at the time, I was still smoking cigarettes then. And my routine was I would, have a certain water. I have the same type of water every single day. I had my certain brand of cigarettes that I smoked every single day,
Mhm.
and certain foods that I ate. And there was a brother that used to go to the meeting, and I remember him observing and watching, and also listening. And I remember once I shared about my financial situation, which I don't think I'll ever share that at a meeting again, but I shared that, and I saw like and he came in because he listened to the fact that I was like, oh, I couldn't, do certain things. He came in and he brought a water and he brought cigarettes because he observed that this is the type of water that she drinks. These are the
Mhm.
cigarettes that she smokes. So he observed that. You know, and you know, there's certain times where I might share something about an insecurity. A validation would be, you know, I might say, you know, I feel like, you know, crap when I don't have money. And a validation from someone who loves me might be like, you know what, you are who you are, whether you have money or not. You know, that's who you are. You're a good person, you know, or you're still valuable when you don't have as much money as you would like to have. You're still valuable when you're not working. You're still
Right,
valuable, you know what I mean, when you're not
right,
showing
right.
up how the world expects you to show up, and evolving me.
Mhm.
Did you help me get from point A to point B? Evolving me with my mind state. It's not evolving is not always like, you know, coming from rags into riches. Evolving would be my mind state. Did you teach me something? Did you educate me on something that I didn't know? Did you help me grow in
Right.
some way? So that's
Mhm,
love. You know, sometimes love
mhm.
shows up in the form of discipline. It doesn't feel good when you're getting it, but that's a form of love.
Right,
So
right.
I think just having these conversations with each other, and creating and cultivating safe spaces to be able to break down certain things, because sometimes there's so much going on within a day that, hold on for one moment. Oh,
Mhm.
I need to tell this. Brother Thomas, can you let him know we're not open yet? At 10. Hold on, 10 o'clock. 10. No, 10 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies.
That's all right. I know you're at work.
Yeah, no, no, you're fine. We're not open yet. So
Right.
yeah, we're not open. Give me one moment.
Mhm. So yes, like we are at Torchlight Recovery. It's right in the middle of Grove Hall. Beautiful building right next to Muhammad Mosque number 11. It actually is run by the Nation of Islam. But we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking to help people who, like are coming home from being incarcerated, those who are in recovery and are trying to stay clean. It's a blessing. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful space. It's warm. Um, I invite anybody that may want someone to talk to. Um, Join us at Torchlight Recovery. We're at two.
Also, okay, I'm sorry. To
Go ahead. I
Washington
was just gonna
Street.
give the
I,
address.
yes, ma'am. I just wanted to add on and just say that while the mosque works with Torchlight, we're two
Mm,
separate entities, and I just wanted to emphasize that because there's some people who may be reluctant to come into Torchlight due to its religious affiliations or associations. I just want to let you know that Torchlight is non-denominational. You know, you can be
mhm.
black, white, Muslim, Christian, Jew, Orthodox, agnostic. You can be atheist and still come to Torchlight
Open to
Recovery.
everyone.
Yes, it's open to everyone. We're here to service the community. And
Hmm.
also, like I mentioned earlier, it's not just about drugs or alcohol. Recovery is just recovering, rebuilding from anything, any type of trauma that you may have endured at any time in your life. You might even be in a place right now where you want to grow to meet another expectation of yourself. You might want to grow into a new version of yourself. Um, you know, we're here to support that, and we're here to support you to become the best version of yourself that you want, not here to push any ideas or belief systems on you. So I just wanted to definitely make that clear. We're
Hmm.
not.
Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up because, yeah, people do get that idea, that impression, that you have to be a Muslim to come here. You don't. And it's a very comfortable atmosphere. No one treats you any different. You know, you are treated as a person, and it's a blessing. You get to meet people that you don't know, and then you get to meet people and see people from your past. And so
Mhm.
it is a blessing, and it's grateful to see people that at one point, we at one point they were in one space, and now they're in a different space, and um, it's just it's in a good location. You can catch. many of buses up here, the 23, the 28, the 29, 19,
45.
45. Yeah.
Yeah, the 22 and then walk.
Yep.
Uber,
Yeah, yeah. So
Lyft, scooter.
bicycles.
Right, bus, plane, train, jet, piggyback ride, or pardon me, we don't say piggyback, ponyback ride.
I know. I know, right? But yeah, it's definitely been I know I'm trying to look and see how much time I have. I don't have a lot of time. Yeah, time goes by fast when you're having fun.
Absolutely. So
Yeah,
work cheerfully. Always work cheerfully because time goes by fast when you're having fun.
yeah, that's right. Um, Sister Khan, um, last week we had, was it last week? Yeah, that we had the Saviors tour.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we had a lot of brothers come in from different parts of the country, that were FOI, Fruits of Islam. And it was just beautiful to see these brothers going to different parts of our community, and talking to the younger brothers and, teaching them, we had a nice rally,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we got to see you perform. You're a great rapper. I love to hear you rap.
Oh, praise be to
And
Allah.
so you just like whenever I see you, you always got a notebook in your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
And, you know, me, I can't even keep up with one notebook. I have thousands of notebooks, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just hard to. I don't know why I have that problem. I got to work on that. I try to, really keep like one notebook and just put everything in it, but it's just I'll put it somewhere, and then when I need something, I'll pick up something else. So I got to learn that how to just use one
Yeah.
notebook at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, so I just wanted to mention that was a great event, and I believe that they are doing a Boston Saviors tour also, um soon. So the summer is coming. We
Yes.
know that when
Oh,
the summer.
boat ride in
Oh
July,
yeah,
July 5th. We're
yeah.
having our annual Mosque 11 boat ride. This will be my third year going, and this is
Hmm.
my first year going, being in the nation. So that just goes to show how much fun I've been having. I've been having a
Right.
good time learning and fellowshipping and growing. So I'm looking forward to it, and we're going to
Yeah.
be filming a music video on the boat for Disciples 11. So it's definitely going to be
Mm,
a good time. All
yeah.
white is the attire.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it should be
But
nice.
could you give the number for Torchlight if someone's interested? We can't
I
say the price of
do.
the ticket on the air, but
Okay, no.
if you give the number, if they're interested, they can call.
Um, well, I don't know the Torchlight number
You don't know the
offhand.
you don't know Torchlight's number?
No, and there's business.
Okay.
Hold on, there's business cards here. Hold on, let me go look at a business card and get my business together.
Because I was gonna look it up because I have the number.
All right, yes. So the number here is 617-465-1299, and ask for Sister Kiana and get your tickets from Sister Kiana. Yes, and
Yeah.
also I would like to extend an invitation to anybody and everybody for Sunday's lecture. Doors
Yeah.
open at 10:30. The lecture starts promptly at 11. And tell them that Sister Kiana X invited you. So I look forward to seeing you guys. All first time guests do receive a free meal at the end of the lecture. So come on by. 10 Washington Street, Grove Hall.
Yes, please. And you can say that you heard about it on People Power with Priscilla
Yes, ma'am. Plug
on
it in.
Boston Praise Radio and TV. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it's it's nice to see the sun out. It's nice to see that it's warm out, and it's nice to see our people. Um, we still have a lot of work to do in our communities, you know. We need to come up with a way that we can work together and make things different. You know, right now we're in budget season at City Hall. Next Wednesday, I believe, is when June 3rd is when they're going to um, vote on the budget. We have asked them to reject the mayor's budget because of so many cuts. And you know, we really want our city councilors to hear us when we speak, when we say, we want you to reject the mayor's budget. We want you to reject the mayor's budget. That's plain and simple. There was a hearing on when I came Tuesday night, and you should have seen all the young folks that came up and talked about, you know, how much the youth jobs meant to them, and you know
Yeah.
how important it was to their family and them to be able to work. Because when you work, when you learn a skill, you learn a lot. Um, I think that our young folks are starting to get it. You know, I think that they are
Mm-hmm.
starting to realize that, you know, they got to be part of the solution and not always part of the problem. And you know, I'm thankful and grateful for my organization, Marcus Anthony Hall Educational Institute. Do a shout out to them because that's what we're doing. We're trying to train our young folks to be leaders, to be advocates, to
Yes.
organize, to be able to speak up and speak out. You don't have to be afraid. You know, you live in this world just like we do. You live in the city just like we do. And you know, we want to work with you and help you and support you. You know, I'm looking for one of my young folks to tell me that they're running for office. I'm just waiting. You know,
Absolutely.
I've
It's
been doing
coming.
this 11 years now, working with these young folks in Boston, and we definitely need, you know, some young, energetic people. I'm gonna call out my friend Carrie Mays and Bermina Cherry, two young Black sisters that are really like they're phenomenal, you know. And there's a lot of there's a lot of us that really don't even see the value of our youth, but they are definitely um wonderful.